All right, so here I am in the shop. I'm just kind of puttering around and cleaning up, and as usual, I got distracted. Put my Trail Finder 2 up on the bench, and I thought, I'm going to give it a little bit of a rework because I've put these tires on here. These are the PULLER tires from RC 4-wheel drive, also mounted up on the proper aluminum rims. Now, really, I'm starting to build more purpose-built trucks, like mud trucks for mud, trailing trucks for water, and now, of course, I want to add more of a puller style truck to my arsenal. And I figured, why not start with the Trail Finder 2 platform? I've already got a 2-stage transmission in there. Right now, I've got a 35-turn motor that I've unscrewed there. It's just kind of in place. A Tekin FXR ESC. And normally, I would run it on a small, short 2200 3S LiPo. So 4-link in the back, everything is looking pretty nice, Punisher shafts, everything like that. But really what I need to do is unhook the ESC and resolder the wires to the Tekin RSX ESC. Unfortunately, this truck won't see any water, but it should have plenty of power with a brushless motor and ESC. Let's get started. All right, my iron is hot. Just gonna start heating up the posts. Take those wires off. So I have to unplug my ESC from the receiver, but a little bit of forward thinking because I didn't buy a waterproof receiver. In fact, I just plasti-dipped it and I put leads on each one. This helps keep, anytime you need to switch anything out on your receiver, if you take, the extra $4 per lead or whatever and you plasti-dip those, you can always swap things out easily like I am right now. Okay, so like I said, I had already unscrewed my motor from the mount. For my trail rigs, I always like to have a quick connect on my motor. It can create a little bit of resistance, but I've never really noticed a heat buildup in the ESC or anything like that at all. Sometimes the ESC, depending on which one you use, will say that the motor's not there, and then you have to start it and then plug it in and then it goes. But that's just through some of my experience. So I said I was going to use an RS Pro or an RSX ESC. I think I'm actually going to go with an RX-8 ESC and a Tekin buggy motor that's a 2050 kV. Why am I doing that? Because it's going to have plenty of jam. And with a 2-stage transmission and let's say a 17-tooth pinion, I think we're going to have a few broken parts somewhere down the line, but it should be good. Hopefully I can mount up this motor. All right, let's line it up here. Oh man, I don't even know if it's gonna fit under the hood. But we can give it a try, why not? 17-tooth pinion, slide over the shaft there. It looks like it's gonna mesh properly, but I gotta see if I can even mount it up to the transmission or the motor plate there. Come on, get off of there. Okay, not too tight. I wanna make sure I'm still able to dry fit the pinion and move the motor around on the top slide mount. Check it out, you can see on the top, I'm able to move it like that. Right about there. Now a lot of people talk about motor mesh and having the pinion mesh with that spur gear. If you want to set it, just grab a piece of paper, foolscap paper, loose leaf paper, nothing too thick, but I'm just gonna rip that in half, make it even easier. There we go. Make sure to roll it in place. You can see it'll become crimped. And there roughly you've got the paper in place. It's gonna be enough of a gap. Haven't even put my set screw in, but look at that, pops right out, perfect gear mesh. To avoid cogging and different kind of issues like that, I'm going to be running in censored mode. And now one of the things I've noticed is as I'm dry fitting this ESC, because I got to go ahead and stick this sensor cable into the ESC and line it up. Slide it off. Beautiful. So there you have it. Everything's been cut down, generally to the same size. I did cut it below the heat fins. The reason I did that is so I can either run the wires straight through the heat fins, or when they are attached to the posts, it'll still be flush right with the top. So then it won't have any interference, and it'll still have airflow around those areas. Let's have a look to see if it fits. Oh, that's much more flush. I'm much happier with this. That's good. Okay, the same thing as soldering or soldering any other time. Make sure that your post is preheated with the hot iron. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of flux on here. Just kind of an acid base that'll help clean up that post. And then I'm gonna take a moment to heat the post up. My iron is actually at about 730 degrees, so pretty warm. Once it starts to heat up, and I'm confident that it's doing that, then I'm going to start introducing the mix that I have. Where I'm from, it's called soldering. A lot of folks out there are called soldering, but I will refer to it as soldering, as that's what we say from where I am. So there we go. Now, I'm already have a pre-plug done, so I'm going to want to attach the negative and the positive. Already pre-warmed. Introduce the new wire. Just going to pop it straight through the fins there. Heat up the wire. Since it's been used before, it already has some wicked into it. Heat everything up again. Here are the wires that came with the ESC and motor, which is going to be really simple because I've already done the battery wires, the positive and negative. I can use all three for the brushless wires. Keeping everything nice and tidy, I'm just going to strip the end of these wires. Rolling it off the table with the razor blade allows me just to do a quick wire strip. If you have wire strippers, use those. A little bit of flux for all three. Here I am tinning the wire. I'm basically pushing the end of the wire against the solder as I'm heating the solder up, allowing it to go into the wire itself. I don't want too much on here. I want to make sure that it's pretty clean, but I also want to make sure that there's enough on there that when I go to attach it to the ESC, that we got a bit of meat on that wire. Okay, attaching these wires is simple. There's A, B, and C. I'm attaching C right now for no reason other than that's just the one I've chosen. I'm going to be running the white in the middle, black on the outside. And then it's just a matter of lining up your wires with the tabs. So C will be going to the furthest point, B and A. I've run the wires and looped them around, run them through the fins, and of course these ones can be pushed down. This is just for the battery, so it'll hook up right here. Everything is nicely out of the way. So I need a full calibration. I'm going to hold the mode button in on the RX-8 and turn it on. It's going to start chiming. Then it's waiting for neutral. Then full speed forward on my radio. And then full speed backwards. and then it should have calibration complete. So let's give it a test in low gear. Got a bit of an axle hop, that's okay. Okay, looks like my motor mesh is good, the gear mesh is good. I'm gonna switch gears, high gear. Well, there it is, my friends. I know you've all seen the preview picture and you've come really to see the Blazer. In fact, half of you have already skipped to the end at this point just to see this thing. But I want to give a shout out to my friend Bill. We did some bartering with some RC stuff, and he said, you know, I'd love to paint that hard body Blazer that you have. And he said, do you have a paint scheme for it? And I said, yes. And I found some photos of a truck similar to the one that kind of got away on me when I was younger. It was orange and white, just like this one. It had big mud boggers on it. And at that time, it was only selling for $3,500, which would have been back in the mid 90s, showing my age there. But I never was able to get it, of course, and by the time I could, it was long gone. I don't even know where it ended up, but I always had it in my memory. So here is the paint scheme. And I did, of course. A lot of you guys will be like, did you put a sound kit in? And the answer is yes. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, I hate sound kits, but love them or hate them, you know what? It's my rig. I'm happy to have it in there. I actually like some of these sound kits that are out there, and I use the S1 sound kit quite a bit. Look at that. Captain Spaulding at the wheel. I figured it was a perfect guy for the season during filming. All the lights were done by my friend Bill. Amazing job, the paint job. Let's look at this. He really specializes in aging and doing rust. And, you know, it's just amazing. Wow. Now, this body itself actually does have the hood come up. You can see the new motor mounted inside. I guess I could get a scale engine in there, but I wouldn't have that motor in there anymore. I love the hinges on the inside. Very, very cool. The mirrors fold in and out. Now, enough looking at it. I say we go outside and give her a test at least. I can't do any pulling today, but I want to see this thing under some power. Low gear, a little faster. One more time going straight. High point right there. We'll see if high gear can make a difference. This is where we should see it. All that extra grunt, still only on a 3-cell. Believe it or not, I could run this on a 6 now. I just don't know where I could fit it. In the back, I guess. Oh, it stalled. Oh, that's what you get. Talking. Oh, man. All right, let's get a better run at it. Count us down in 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. Big power. Oh, be careful. Backing him down. Sick. Shall we get a speed run coming at us, I guess? Now we can see it can climb a bit. There we are. It gets a little bumpy and it's getting a little far away, but you can see it. Let's bring it back. Here we go. Power down. Whoa! I need to do that again. Oh, slipped a gear. Yeah, I think this will do okay at pulling the Judge. Definitely not okay on the rocks. The tires are just too crazy. Okay, 3, 2. Oh, I'm happy with that. Slipping a gear. I'm gonna have to look at that transmission. Oh, I hear a little crunching. I wonder if that motor's come away. Oh yeah. Okay, so instead of damaging that spur gear, I'm just gonna go over there and grab it. Let's see what it is here. I heard a bit of crunching. Where was the crunching? I am hoping, let's see if I can get in there with the wires in the way. That's what I'm thinking it is in there. But it's not. It's perfect. Oh, check it out. Look at this. I got a loose link right there. That screw very well may be the noise I was just hearing. So that's awesome. So far so good, I hope. Unless it's a differential, but I don't think so. Like, that feels fine. It feels like it's rubbing in here. So maybe I'll check the transfer case, but I think overall that screw is probably the issue. And we have started on our way to a puller truck. It isn't super heavy. I'll have to weigh it out. I'm gonna have to estimate maybe only about 10 pounds, which is not a lot for a puller, right? The body will help, maybe an extra pound on top. Maybe we're gonna have to weight it down, but definitely heavier in the front now with this giant Tekin motor on there. Like I said, I could run it on 6S, but where the heck would I put the battery? I guess in the back. But if you like the video today, if you're feeling inspired to go out and try something with the radio control hobby, a like click is always appreciated, my friends. If we've earned your subscription, awesome. Check out our channel. We've got tons of great content there on the RC hobby, and you're gonna love it. So until next time, my friends, get outside, enjoy the hobby of RC, and we'll see you in the next episode of RC Adventures. Bye.